Okay, I think we're good. Did you guys get a little notification that said this meeting is being recorded?
Yep.
Cool. Then we're in business. Yeah.
Awesome. Mm, we might get a couple of people join a little bit late, but I think we've probably got most of the people
Yeah,
here tonight. So,
that's okay. All right. Should we kick it off?
yep, we can kick it off. Definitely.
All right.
Um, I can go ahead and get us started. Um, for those of you, sorry, we're going to be joined by my roommate, Pippin. Um, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Amanda Morgan. I'm the program manager of the International Student Support Team. And I do have to hop off a little bit early. So if we're not done by the time I have to leave, Kelly's gonna do a great job and take over the rest of it. But thank you everyone who's joining us. Whatever, I know we're in a lot of different time zones. And hopefully we've got some weather coming apparently, so hopefully you guys are safe. But we have some pretty exciting program updates to share and also just some things to like be aware of that might have been different from the past, especially if you've like been a local coordinator or host family in the past. So we wanted to kind of go through those things. And I'll start off. Well, Kelly, do you want to say anything before I continue?
No,
Or
I think that's it.
okay.
I mean, excited to share some good
Yep.
positive things
The
and
positive things were,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And some
Um,
changes, but that's okay. Like we're just really super excited to get everything started. So,
sure.
you know.
Um,
And hey, before
and
you start, did everybody get back okay? Is everybody back? Is everybody?
All of our students. Yes, yes,
oh
everyone's
yes, sorry,
back.
yeah,
Everybody's
I no,
home.
they
you never
did.
tell
Yep,
us,
Yeah,
yep.
I know
All of our
mine
yeah.
got back
students
okay.
left like last week was the last of our students that were here. So yep, they've all made it home safely. Um,
Good.
so well, the most exciting news I think is that we finally got the okay to contact on the Flex program because even though we'd finalized several placements, we were not allowed to enter them into the database and they weren't allowed to share them with the students and the natural families, which is why the students and the host families couldn't contact each other. But as of yesterday, this has been lifted. So now we are able to enter placements as we finish them. And we will be notifying host families, of course, as they're approved so that they can reach out to their students and get that contact started. We know it's been a couple months for some of them that have been waiting. So we really appreciate everyone's patience. And if you're working with UST students, they're also okay to contact as we finish the placements. So everything should be, there's no more like holdups. We should be able to kind of put you in contact with the students as the placements are being made for all of the countries. So next slide.
Yeah, and just so everybody knows, I put in all the placements that we
Yep.
were able to place as of this afternoon. So if you are thinking that there's a placement you're working on that should be able to go and you didn't get that email, then just let me know and we can tell you what we might be missing
What the status is.
on
Yeah.
the application. Yeah.
So there is one pretty big change on the flex side from previous years, and for some countries at least, every flex country only has one arrival date this year. This has always been the case in the past on the YES program. And it has also been the case for some flex countries in the past that have like smaller cohorts. But this year, every country has one arrival date. Um, and we will share those dates with you as we place the students or as you're looking to place the students. A couple of notes on here about, well, they have one arrival date, but all of the students except the ones that we're going to talk about can be deferred. Deferred means that we don't make their original deadline, whatever that original deadline is, we'll share that with you, and then they get deferred and they come in September. So they're either going to come like mid-September, which is not always ideal, or they're going to come on time. So we really want to make sure our students get placed on time so they can come here in time to start school. The students that cannot be deferred are from Ukraine and are UST students from Kiribati. We have to place those students by the deadlines that we have listed here. So all of our, like any student from Ukraine has to be placed by August 3rd. We have no option not to place them by August 3rd. They cannot be deferred. And all of our students from Kiribati have to be placed by August 13th. And that is because They have very limited travel options from Kiribati to the United States, so they have to be placed by a certain date in order to be able to go to Fiji and do their pre-departure orientation and get their visas. So we really appreciate your help in getting these students placed on time. Any questions about arrival dates or how this is going to work for our Flex and OO students? Oh.
But was there a question?
Does anyone have a question about
Oh.
any of the arrival
The
information?
normal arrival date is like, for like the Ukraine kid, the kids that get in on time is going to be before school starts normally, because I don't think I've ever had one that got there on time.
Well, it depends on how early school starts, because some of the arrival dates could be like later
Yeah,
in August, of course, but some of them are pretty
yeah,
early too. It just
yeah,
depends on the
yeah,
country. And
yeah.
unfortunately, we don't really have any control over who has the early arrival date, who has the late one. It's all,
Right, right.
as by
So
the
there's
customer.
still different arrival dates, but they're
Yes.
yeah, but the
And
deferred
and
date.
Stacy,
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. So Stacy, at the end of the last slide, I have like a list of some of our first students that have to be like they're so
We
when
got to get them
the travel
going.
dates are made, yeah, the travel dates are made and then there's a corresponding placement deadline. And at the
Yeah,
end of the presentation, like the last slide, I'll talk about our students who have like the first upcoming deadlines in
yeah,
July.
yeah, yeah.
So,
Okay.
okay. Next slide. Speaking of travel, unfortunately, we still have an international travel ban for on-program travel. That means that once students are here in the United States, they cannot travel outside of the United States. That includes Canada, Mexico, and if kids go on, some families like to go on cruises, and there might be international ports. Students cannot go on those types of trips. There is absolutely no travel outside of domestic travel allowed on program, and that is for Flex and OO students. So we know this is disappointing, especially for people who either live maybe close to the border or might take trips to some countries kind of close to here, but that is a State Department rule. That's not just an American Council's rule. So we just
That
wanted,
just changed this last year, right?
yeah, as of last year, that had changed.
Yeah.
Yep. So who knows? They could, allow it again sometime in the future, but for right now, that's just unfortunately the case. So any any questions about travel? Like domestic travel, of course, is still allowed per the travel policy, as long as people meet the requirements for the travel request, but this is just for international travel. Any questions? Awesome. A couple of updates about insurance. So as you are aware, if you've worked on the programs before, Flex students are on something called ASPE, all of the State Department programs. So, that's what YES students have always been on as well. And non-Department of State students always have a different insurance because it's an insurance we have to get ourselves. So this time it is kind of a coincidence. ASPE is changing its program administrator and its network. And this is a very, very positive change, in my opinion, because before
Mm,
it was Seven Corners was the administrator. Seven Corners is known for doing like a lot of kinds of like travel insurance and things like that.
yeah.
And First Health was our network. And now we are transitioning to IMG, International Medical Group, is going to be the administrator. That means they process all the claims. And United Healthcare is the network, which of course is a huge network. And we think it'll be much easier probably to find providers. And I think there might even be a chance that host families might already be on that network. So they might even be able to take students to the same doctors that they already go to, unlike First Health, which was, we realized, more difficult. We're also switching the insurance that the OO students are on. That used to be called CISI, and it was on the Aetna network, but we actually got a new plan starting this year as well. And it just so happens that they're also on United Healthcare Network through IMG. So the only thing that's a little bit different is the actual plans are not the exact same. So there are going to be certain types of policy coverage differences between the two. But at least when it comes to like processing claims and getting information and identifying providers, that can all be the same, like the same networks. And of course, we'll have copies of the benefit plans once we get those. That'll that'll kind of show what's covered and what's not covered. As far as I'm aware, based on what we've been told, nothing in terms of coverage is changing on ASPE. So that should be staying the same. It's only like the network and the administrator that's changing. But there could be some small differences in coverage on the OOS side. So once we have more information about that, of course, we will share it. We're still waiting on some of the details about the ASPE part because it's actually still in the process of transitioning over. It'll transition over August 17th. So we're still trying to clarify exactly what that means for people who arrive before August 17th. But overall, we think this is a very positive change, hopefully moving forward for the insurance program. So we know insurance can be really confusing. Are there any questions about this part? I think we're all happy to
I
leave.
just call you guys if I have a question.
Yeah, of course. I think the main thing is just I really think that finding providers and will be so much easier than it used to be because we know that some parts of the country there was plenty of First Health providers, and some places there weren't any. And I don't think that's going to be a problem with United Healthcare because it's such a big network. So we're always happy to help find providers and look that up for you if your host families are having trouble. So, okay. Moving along.
Oh,
Yeah, so one of the not so great updates, of course, there are a couple that aren't as good. So the State Department is no longer doing those certificates that recognize students doing 100 hours. So there won't be a certificate that has like the Department of State seal on it, but American Councils, as a placement organization, we will still provide certificates to any students that reach 100 hours. So they will get a certificate. It just won't be the same exact certificate that we had in the past. And we definitely still want to highlight community service, or community engagement is kind of what we're calling it because it's a little bit broader. Community engagement, community activities. We definitely still want that to be a big emphasis and part of the program. We still want to hear about students doing community service and volunteering. We're still going to have them tracking their hours. The only difference is the lack of certificate coming from the State Department. But we hope that getting a certificate from American Councils will still be motivation for them to aim for 100 hours.
do you guys does there any kind of notification of their schools when they get a certificate? I mean, does American Councils or the host families, I guess, can do that too, but it seems like somebody in their home country should know when they get these recognition things, the community service, or they get student of the month or stuff like that, because it's on the Facebook page and we all get to hear about it. But do the home countries get to hear about it?
They usually do because they're reported to the funder, and that's of course shared with the program administrators in DC who communicate with the overseas offices. So we're always
Okay.
looping in, so the State Department, of course, I keep saying State Department for Flex, and then Millennium Challenge Corporation for the OOS students. We do always tell the funder, and we include the program administrators in that. And as far as we're aware, that usually does get shared
Okay.
with the overseas offices. So definitely a big accomplishment. So. Okay. Moving on to enhancement activities. So another kind of slightly unfortunate update, there will be no Civic Education Week or WILET, which is the workshop for youth leaders in English teaching. That was the English teaching workshop that was about 30 kids every year. Yeah, so CivEd and WILET are not happening this year. So I think in lieu of that, that means that there won't be students that have the opportunity to come to DC for CivEd, but I will remind everyone that we do our reentry workshop in Washington, DC. So they will have an opportunity to come in April, even if they can't come for CivEd, if that's something that they really want to do. But because they're not having these kind of program funded workshops, we really want to emphasize activities in host communities and in clusters. And there are definitely certain themes that I would say that our program funders would like us to kind of focus on. And that doesn't mean that you can't do other themes. Of course, we have American culture, leadership, citizenship, government, and free market entrepreneurship. And any of those themes are valid. All of those are really great activity themes to plan, and we're happy to kind of talk to you about what those look like. But we would really love it if we could put a little bit of emphasis on doing some activities that, talking to local businesses or learning about local businesses, going to the Chamber of Commerce or learning about a local business person, innovation, and of course, entrepreneurship, which is, of course, kind of related to business. So, any enhancements that emphasize these themes are the ones that we would use to highlight the programs when we're sharing it with the program funders. But we're still happy to get stories about your other enhancement activities as well. And as a reminder, you get if you want a reminder about the budget, just let me know and we'll send that information to you about what that looks like. Can host siblings participate
That's
in
is
enhancements?
that
Oh,
staying
sorry.
the same for next year since they cut out Civic Education Week? Or are the enhancement activities staying the same for next year in terms of reimbursement?
Yeah, because that's set by the grant, the
Yeah, yeah,
reimbursement
yeah.
amounts. Yeah, so that's staying the same. But I will say, honestly, we always seem to have leftover money for enhancements, partly
Yeah,
because
yeah,
local coordinators are able to find
yeah,
like really, some local coordinators are able to find really cost-effective options, and some people don't use all of their enhancement money. So
yeah.
that's why we are able, especially in the spring semester when we kind of see how things play out, we are able to usually to fund kind of either
Hmm.
additional enhancements or ones that cost slightly more money. So we did get a question,
Sure.
can host siblings participate in enhancement activities? They can, but we can't pay for them. So
Hmm.
the funding for enhancements is tied to the student and the local coordinator who organizes them. So host
Right.
siblings are able to come along, but we just can't like if there's like a ticket or something,
Correct.
we can't cover
Right.
host
Yeah.
siblings. So which is a good question. Thank you for asking that. Um, okay. Moving on to any other questions about enhancements or any of that? Oh, sounds like okay.
I am so excited about this.
Online access.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think I sent like 3 emails to you guys saying, "Thank you, Lord, for putting everything in one place finally."
we're working on it. We're working
Yeah.
on getting you guys to never have to use Salesforce again, too, which uh, I'm not a big fan of Salesforce, so we're
Or
definitely
try to find the form in the handbook so you can copy it.
yeah,
You
no,
know.
for sure. Um, I'll do this part. Kelly,
Um,
if you can take over the safe exchange part after that, because you know more about that. So we are really making an effort to transition things to having like a digital online option. We do still have paper versions, like PDF versions of our forms, but we're really encouraging people to try to do them online. You can just fill it out straight from your phone. Like if you're with the host family, you can literally have the in-home interview form open on your phone and like fill it in or do your reference calls or things like that. So all of our host family vetting forms are online. So you can do, of course, the host family application has always been online, but you can do in-home interview online. You can also submit the telephone reference checks online. You will still need to likely print the school enrollment form because it has to be signed by the
Yeah.
school
That's
administrator.
signature. Yeah.
Yeah. But even the second home visit is online. Like all of that can be done online after the student arrives too. So that's exciting. And Kelly did a worked really hard to get all of those kind of up to date. We also are moving pretty much all of our honoraria forms and our reimbursement forms online. So that means that we've always had the student incidentals and medical forms. Those have been online for a couple of years now. They're not used as widely as we expect. So we just want to kind of advertise that a little bit more that those can be filled out online and you can attach the receipt straight to it. We also, if anyone has used that form before, there used to be a digital signature where you had to like sign it and then it would send you a code and you had to like put the code in. We got rid of that. So now you're just gonna have to, we were able to confirm that if you just like type your signature and date it, we
Yeah.
can use that as a valid signature. So we hopefully it made that easier. We just moved the enhancement honoraria and enhancement reimbursement forms. We're also just moved to an online version that we're going to roll out, and the placement honoraria form for 26, 27 has also been created online. So we will be sharing that. We don't actually have the grant for Flex in hand at the moment, so we can't pay out the honoraria until we have that award, but we are expecting that very, very soon. So we would like people to start submitting their placement honorary. The only thing that we didn't make online was we still haven't changed the orientation forms to be online because you have to collect different signatures on them, like your host family signatures and your student signatures, but we're still thinking about ways that we might be able to do that. And the travel form is also not online because, again, you have to take it to the school and get it signed, and we figured that might be a little bit difficult. But we're going to try to put all of this in an easy to find place. So in the past, we had the host family portal, which was protected by like a password that we give everyone. It's like the same password. That was on our website, and we would put forms there, but that was kind of the only place the host families could really find things online. And of course, local coordinators, you guys had Salesforce, and we know that Salesforce is not easy to use. And students didn't have anywhere online to really find the forms. We would link the like medical and incidentals one in their surveys, but otherwise there wasn't like a central place that they could go to. So we're getting this ready this summer, but starting moving forward, we're going to have like a portal that students can go to, and in their handbooks, there's like a QR code they can use to find the portal. No password or anything. We're going to have like all the forms that students really need and information students need right there, and an online version of the handbook as well. And I'll let Kelly kind of talk a little bit about what host families and local coordinators will be using. Because no more
The student,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the student one will not be part of the Safe Exchange thing. That'll be a
No.
separate platform
Yeah, it's
because
just
of
a
the
link
security
on,
thing.
yeah, it's just a link on the American Councils, and it's just like an open, I mean, it's not like you can't find it from the navigation bar, but you can find it if you have the direct link, and we're giving that to everybody. So
And it'll be on the website.
mhm. Yeah, you won't be able to find it from like the front page of the website. We're putting it in the handbooks, and we're putting it in like emails that we're sending out, and we'll put it
Okay,
in.
but it's a separate platform. That was my thing is I always felt like I had to look 3 different places for different forms.
Yeah,
And
now you only have to look in Safe Exchanges unless you're a
Safe
student.
Exchange will have all of our stuff, all of it.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Except for the ones that,
Yeah.
and the ones that we have to sign, will those be printable so we can get them
yes,
on Safe Exchange and print them from there and then sign them and scan them
absolutely.
back? Okay,
Yeah.
good.
So Stacy, and I had somebody else ask about it too. When we're done with the presentation, I can share my screen and I can show everybody where you can access documents in Safe Exchanges.
Right. Is it running? Is it up and running?
Yeah, it's up and running. Yeah, yeah.
Yay.
And
Even
since
after all that
since we're talking
feedback,
about
huh?
it, yeah. How many folks here, you could just raise your hand digitally if you have logged into your Safe Exchange? I'm just curious to see how we are doing with it.
How do I do that?
Just
Okay.
the hand raised when yeah, several people. That's good.
I mean,
Okay,
to do the
great,
survey, we had to play with it to do that survey. So
Yeah. Yeah, so Stacy, you kind of had special access because you were a tester for us. Okay. But if you have not done so yet, I would ask you to go and log into Safe Exchanges. Let me see. Hold on. Okay. Yeah. So we launched it on June 1st. We sent an email to everybody on June 1st that has your login information. And what you can do is you can log in there and change your password because everybody, it was like one password and then you log in and change it. So we're really excited about it, and I'm glad that you guys, for those of you who've logged in, it sounds like we're getting pretty good feedback. People seem to like it. A couple of things I just want to kind of highlight with Safe Exchanges. So through Safe Exchanges, we have access to training modules that are self-paced, and there's a variety of different courses. And you can poke around with that. Again, I'm going to share my screen here afterwards and show everybody, what it looks like. But we will communicate to you guys like which courses we want you to take and things of that nature. But it's pretty cool to check out because they have a variety of different courses that are geared to LCs. There are some things that are geared more towards like students and host families. So it's good to kind of get that perspective. There's also a messaging feature, and we are going to be transitioning to using that messaging feature to message you all. Like I know that, we often will text some of you all if we're working on a support case or if we're placements or what have you. And we're going to start using that messaging module or that messaging tool. And the cool thing about the messaging tool is that like you can message any of us. So not only can you message like your support person, but you could also message me or Amanda or whoever. And you can also message each other, which I think is great. I know that many of you all have talked about wanting to have more communication between LCs and things like that. And so this is a great way to be able to do that. We're also going to have, or we do have a calendar, which has different events throughout the year. And I'll show you again after that we have like our trainings and things like that on there that we have already have on the calendar. There's also an AI coordinator where you can basically ask pretty common questions, and host families will be able to do this too. The cool thing about it is this bot or whatever has been informed by all of our American Council's information. So basically what we did before we launched is we had to give this company, Safe Exchanges, we had to give them all of our materials and things like that, like the handbooks and stuff like that, so it could inform the question box. And we're actually, I really want to encourage you all to give us feedback on it. Like if you ask it a question and it gives you a weird answer or something that you think is not right, or maybe you want a more specific answer, please tell us, because we can go in and like add that information super easily. So we can continue to like train it as we're using it.
Our host,
then we've already talked.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Two questions. Should I just interrupt? Two questions. One is the host family with Safe Exchanges, will they use that for texting us and texting everybody as well? Or should we just keep that between us?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I don't think I thought about that. Amanda, I don't think we talked about that. But
well,
I think
it's more secure than just texting. I mean, it's like Slack, it's like an internal kind of thing. So, but
yes, it is.
They want to also know that nobody else from you, like you guys are seeing it either sometimes, so it's pretty personal sometimes. So I don't know.
So when we get the host families, which we're in the process of adding host families, once we do that, we should be able to kind of poke around with that and test it out too. So, yeah.
My second question is, are monthly reports going to be on this? Links to monthly reports.
No, although, yeah, we weren't planning on, I was thinking about that because the documents section is visible to, it'll be visible to like host families and local coordinators. So you don't want to put like, the link to the report there. So that,
okay.
But we could, you could message us and we could send you the link via message, and the messaging app will work just like texting. So,
I'm confused with that answer.
Well, but we can put the link to the form assembly though.
That's what I'm saying. Because when when you fill it out, like it's like a Google form, when you fill it out, you submit it, and it doesn't go to the host families can't see the filled out one, right?
They don't, although I would just want to make sure they aren't filling out that form too, even though it should be obvious.
Oh, I get it.
Not for them. I don't really want them necessarily to like.
Can't limit access to all the forms, to any of the forms. Like they can get any of the forms.
So this is also something that we can play around. This is a learning experience for all of us, but I'm pretty sure that we can make certain documents just available to LCs or just available to families. So so we can. I'm sure we'll be able to work that out.
Kelly, I have to hop off now. Thank you. Sorry for having to leave early, but thank you.
Thank you,
Amanda.
Bye. Okay. Yeah. Other questions or comments about Safe Exchanges?
Kelly, this is Shauna. Can you hear me? Hi.
Yep.
So I know in the App Store there is an app for Safe Exchange for host families. The only way I've been able to access the Safe Exchange Hub is to access it off my browser. I want an app. Is there an app for LCs?
Yes. so thank you for asking about that. They were going to work on that app because we also had the same issue when we were testing it. So let me round back with them, but yes. So the short answer is yes. The longer answer is like they're developing it. So yeah, let me, hopefully that'll be ready soon.
Okay, so that adds an extra step. If people are using their phones, they have to go into their browser and then they have to go into the app. And so maybe that will motivate the developers to get us something a little bit sooner, because I've downloaded the app for host families. Are we going to make that Safe Exchange available to host families, or are we just not going to use that for host families?
So yes, we are making it available to host families. So also this is, I think, a good opportunity to just alert everyone. So I know that there are many people here who are hosting and who will also be a local coordinator. So you will need 2 different like email addresses for your different accounts. So your host family account will be different from your local coordinator account. And unfortunately, they can't share an email address. But yes, we are in the process of like getting all of our, like we were just working on it this week on getting all the local or the host family information prepared to go live on the app.
So when we're recruiting and talking to people, that we will now have an American Council's email to use for just American Council's, like for American Council's communications. Does that go with this too? Because like right now,
there's no email that goes with it. It's just
okay.
What I meant was like email. To log into the app, right? Yeah,
okay.
To log into the app. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Kelly, one other question.
Yeah.
The email that you folks have for my host family application makes my email the first one, but is there a process where we can make my husband's email the first one, and then I don't have to create a separate email account? I can just use his.
For sure. Yeah, okay. And once we get everything loaded up, like once we get everything prepped to go, we'll email those folks who are affected by that, who are hosting and also an LC.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
The AI that's on the Safe Exchanges, is it non-learning, like closed circuit, or do we have to worry about putting in PII or avoiding putting in PII?
Yeah, no, that's a good question. So it is a closed circuit. So you don't have to, like, it's only within our system and only within our app. So you don't have to worry about like violating any PII or anything. Like we had, like the system itself has private information in there of our students and things like that. So it's a secure system. And so like the app is like the AI agent is something that we control, and it's not like it's searching the information that we give it and not necessarily on the internet. Does that make sense?
Perfect.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. What does PII stand for again?
Personal protected information.
Oh, PPI. Okay. PI,
yeah.
Whatever. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Kelly, I have a question too.
Sure.
About login with the emails. Since I log into American Councils when I do evaluation for Flex, so they have as a login, my email. And you guys sent me on the same email everything that has to do with the local coordinator stuff. Can I use that one email for both, or I have to do something else so it doesn't get mixed up?
Yeah, good question. You can just use the same one. It's 2 different systems. So like the evaluator system doesn't like talk to our system, so it's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Other questions? Okay, awesome. So I did want to do a quick update about placement and how we're doing. So we have 60% of our students placed or placement pending, which is good. We're kind of ahead of where we were last year. But we're just talking together as a team this week. We're encountering quite a few school challenges, as is pretty normal this time of year. You know, we're getting into that time where, you know, schools start closing or they hit enrollment caps or what have you. I can also, one of the things I'd love to do is kind of share our available students page and show you what we have going on. I will also just kind of put a plug in here, some positive things about the students that we have left. We have a lot of country diversity, which is great. We have a variety of students available from different countries. And so if you're working with families, like they have a lot of choice when it comes to that. One place where we're kind of struggling a little bit is placing our students from Kiribati. We still have 3 students that are open and available from Kiribati. They are all girls. You know, we're just trying to, we had a couple kids who were rejected because of schools, not because there was anything wrong with the students, but like the deadline had passed by the time we got the use profiles. So just some things to keep in mind as you guys are talking to families. Right now we have about 19 students available or on hold. That's combined. We are waiting. We have 5 students that we're waiting on school approval. Like I said, 3 US students open. We have 4 girls open right now. So we have Elvira from Romania. And then we also have our 3 US girls. And then we have about 6 boys open. I feel like I should have updated that. I feel like things are constantly moving and changing. I know that I think Leanne had put No Juice from Lithuania on hold before I got on the call. But, and I also just wanted to point out here, these are our students who have a July 27th placement deadline, which means that they need to be placed, as in like we need to have everything. Like we need to have host family applications, criminal background checks. We need the signed school enrollment form, everything by July 27th. So those students are Remy from Estonia, who looks amazing. I cannot believe that she's still available. And Arnell from Kyrgyzstan, who is actually on hold for a family in Kansas City right now. Nojus from Lithuania, who I do think is on hold. He has, I think, maybe 2 potential families that are looking at him right now. And then from Georgia, we have both Ani and Luca. Ani has a potential family in Fairfax County. Just found out today that she might not get her documents in on time. There are supplemental documents from Fairfax County that we needed to request. They wanted them to be in by tomorrow. Looks like she's not going to get them to us until next week. So that one is kind of up in the air, and I would say 50-50 shot. And Luca is open. I don't know why I have it. I think I meant Ani is on hold, but Luca is open, who is also a great kid, and I'm really surprised he's still available. That's kind of, these are the kids that we need to prioritize. The other student that I'm a little concerned about is Sophia from Ukraine. We have a potential family for her in Falls Church, Virginia. We missed the deadline. We're asking for an exception, and they are going to get back to us by next week. But I am a little concerned because she cannot be deferred because she is from Ukraine. So we would definitely want to make sure we get her placed as soon as we can.
Kelly, you mentioned that Arnell is on hold in Kansas City. I thought he was on hold for Hawaii.
Arnell from Kyrgyzstan?
Yeah.
Or did you mean No Juice?
No, I thought you said Arnell's on hold, I thought, for Kansas City.
Yes, but I thought that you wanted No Juice.
Well, I want both of them. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
I thought Arnell had been, Leanne put Arnell on hold because the host family that just submitted an application, I'm going to try to place him with them. We've had a lot of interest.
I thought.
Yeah, we've had a lot of interest
Arnell
because of my connections to aviation. So we're trying to get him here. And then if nobody else is jumping on Noju, I'd like to get him too. But that, I can't can't promise on that one.
Okay. Good to know. So I have a call with this Kansas City family on Friday. They are a family who their daughter just returned from Yes Abroad and they want to host. And they sounded pretty open. Like they were like, oh my gosh, it's so hard to pick. So I might be able to, we might be able to do something there. But okay. So, and we can connect offline as well.
Okay.
But okay, that's good to know. I thought you wanted no juice. Okay. Any other questions or comments about placements? Okay. I just want to say, like, things are cooking. And if you have a family who is like on the fence, I would let them know that we do have a lot popping right now, and that now is definitely the time for them to pick a kid, because there's a lot of stuff going on in terms of holds and potential families and things like that. So so encourage your families to apply. I'm also planning to send out an email to former host families this week. I'll probably do it tomorrow. I can't believe it's already almost Thursday. Now that our students are gone, this is often like a good time to go back and ask families again, if they would consider hosting again. Sometimes, the kids have been gone like a week and it's like, oh man, the house is like quieter than I thought it would be. And, maybe I'll host again. So now is a really good time to make those asks again to former host families. So, yeah. Any other questions or comments about placement stuff? Okay, I am going to stop my share real quick, and then I am going to share my screen again and show you Safe Exchanges. Give me 1 second. All right. So this is what it looks like when you log in. And up here at the top, this is kind of your quick guide to navigating the system here. So first thing I want to show you is learning. So if you click on that, you can see these different courses here that are available. Right now, you can ignore these things that say required. These are kind of like the default things that the developer picked. And we're going to decide as a team which ones, we want to ask you all to complete. But a lot of these, there's some really great topics here. Like there's this one for host family recruitment and things like that. So it's good to kind of play around with that. And then I want to show you a couple things. So here's over on the left is the messaging feature. So one thing I do want to note is to start a chat with someone. You have to click this blue bubble up here, and then you can pick somebody, and then they have to basically accept the string on the other end. So just note that, make sure to check your own messages to see if you have any chat strings that were started. And then over here on the left is our calendar feature. So as you can see here, I went ahead and put our upcoming trainings and things like that. So the next one will be the Summer Slump session, and the Zoom link is down here. So let's talk about July and August placements, what students need to be placed, how to navigate school placements, and last cycle host family recruitment. Okay. So you can navigate, you can page through these. We have our open office hours on here. We have our admin training, orientation training, student moves training, all that stuff. You can come here and find the registration link and see what day we have those. Any questions so far? Okay. And then down here at the bottom, we have our AI coordinator. And here are some like sample questions that people, people can pick from these, or they can ask their own. So you can go in here and play with this a little bit. And again, like, let us know if you think you're getting a weird answer or something like that. Part of this too is like a tool for host families, so that like if they have a question, they can maybe ask this first and see if there's like a quick answer, right, that they can get. And that might also alleviate a little bit of pressure on you guys too. Something is going on in the middle of the night or something, they're worried about their students' grades, and they can maybe ask this and see if there's any guidance. Not that they shouldn't tell you about those things. They should absolutely still tell you about any concerns they have. But this is just like a quick tool that might be helpful. And then I feel like there was, the documents. So over here, the documents, right now it's a little sparse, but we'll be adding more things. So as you can see here, we've linked like the host family reference form and the host family interview form. And the cool thing is you just click on it and it opens it right up in a new tab. So you don't have to do anything else. You just click on the little eyeball here and it opens it up. And it'll be that way too for the other things. So it'll be like, when we put the student handbook in there, which we're hoping the handbooks will be done by the end of next, like other side of 4th of July. And once we get all of those things uploaded, you'll be able to just click on it, it'll open up. Okay. Yeah, Bev, what's up?
Just checking in on the update to our dashboards since the June 1 meeting introduction. Like, my dashboard still hasn't been updated. I'm fine with that. I just want to make sure that it will be. Mine still says zeros across the top.
Oh, yes. No. So yeah, thank you for asking that. So once we get the host families up, part of it was we were waiting to get the grant, because once we put the host families in that are associated with their students, then like they can see the information of the students. So we're trying to like get everybody placed and then we'll be able to, then people will be able to see everybody's contact information and it'll be okay.
Well, that's fine. But things like my training, it still says 0% and that kind of thing. Again, I don't care, but it's just not been updated. And then the other question I have related to that is, I still don't see the install app on the top right-hand side like it shows on yours. I just have the message bell, but not an install app.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask the developer about the app question. Shauna had also asked about the app. Right. And I will round back with Anatoly about that and what's going, like how we are with getting that. Because we also had the same problem as staff when we were trying to use the app.
Great. So, super. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, Kelly, would we have, can I ask a quick question about this while I just thought of it? Sometimes when you are using an app on the phone, you can't access, like I like to work on my computer, on my laptop, and will we be able to access everything with, on the browser as well as on the app? Or
yeah, you should.
Okay, good. Because
you should be able to access everything.
I don't like filling out forms on my phone,
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it should look pretty much the same.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
What?
If you need that email again with your password and stuff, give me a shout. And we're happy to help get you guys onto the app, and excited for program this year, and excited to get everybody settled and all that good stuff. Really excited to have you guys support all of our students. And yeah, we think it's going to be a really great year.
What's going on with Yes?
Great question. So we are waiting to hear the next steps. The grant, we submitted the grant 2 weeks ago or so. So the State Department had mentioned that they're going to hopefully have movement on it in June, but right now we don't know. But we are still anticipating that we'll have students come in spring semester.
Well, I've got another general question. Maybe not, maybe this is just for you, but I had some of my, all of my students were in communication with all the other Yes students this year, with the different placement agencies and from their own countries, and